Unidentified Podcast, episode 19. That's what we're doing right now. Adam's here.
Yes, Adam's here and an hour late.
Yeah, but at least you're here. No one else is. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one. The clocks move forward and confused Adam. His clocks haven't moved forward yet in Ireland. They're always behind, I guess. I don't know. You do that eventually. Yeah, we just went over that. You do eventually move the clocks forward.
Yeah, apparently we do it on March 29th.
Well, see, we usually do it near the end of the month. Usually at the end of March. I don't know why we did it so early this year. Probably because everyone's so miserable because of how horrible the winter's been in the U.S. It was worse than Canada this year, apparently. I have a friend in Canada, and he says, yeah, it's not that bad. What are you talking about? You're Canada. You're home of the Arctic.
Yeah, that's what are you on about?
And, well, he's saying that, oh yeah, it's like 40s here, 40 Fahrenheit, and we're just like, yeah, no, not even close.
Wait, 40 Fahrenheit is about 2 degrees Celsius, isn't it?
I couldn't tell you. It's slightly above freezing.
Yeah, I know 32 is
32
0.
is freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's probably around there. I should learn that. The America should just adopt every other system that everyone else uses because it's stupid.
I think there's only like 3 countries in the world that don't use metric, and US.
I know, and we're one of them.
Countries?
I get the idea. I get the idea of separating themselves from, England and all those evil people at the time, but come on now, enough's enough. Let's set our ego aside.
Yeah, there's Liberia,
All right.
Myanmar, which is in Africa.
Yes.
I think, and then the USA.
All right.
3 countries in the entire world.
It would just make our lives easier.
But here's the thing: I still think height in feet than inches. I think weight in pounds.
Wait. When you weigh yourself, you weigh in pounds, don't you?
I weigh in stone.
I don't even know what that means.
I think that's an Irish version. I think like 13 pounds of 1 stone.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know what stone is. I've heard that before, but I think Seamus said it a couple times. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, video games. Have you been playing any this week? Or since we've last talked? It's been a while.
Yeah, I played FTL, and that was great. That's a wonderful game.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that. It's a fun, extremely difficult game.
18 hours in, still haven't beaten it.
Yeah, I haven't beaten it either.
Not even on easy.
I'm roughly, yeah, me too. I'm in the same boat.
I got to the 3rd stage, the final boss. The final stage, the final boss, and died.
I got to the final boss and almost instantly died.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming.
And then I just gave up after that. I'm like, well, I've seen enough. I had fun, but didn't need it anymore. It was on sale, so super cheap. I got my money's worth out of it.
But there's so much more to that game. You can unlock new ships. You can unlock new designs.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I just don't care.
The developers added an entire expansion to it for free.
Yep. I like it. Praise be to them. I like it when they do that stuff, especially coming off of a game that I will be talking about.
Which is?
No, we'll wait until you're done.
That's me done.
So you played FTL
for 18 hours.
I guess that's true. Yeah, speaking of 18 hours, it was probably around my playtime in Destiny.
Why are you doing that to yourself?
Well, I don't hate it anymore.
Ah, it happened.
Not saying I like it. I don't want to go that far. There's something about it. I can put my finger on what it is. I was about to say I can't put my finger on it. I quickly got rid of that because it's really just comes down to shooting stuff. It just feels really good. It's the way the enemies react, the way the AI of the enemies, I think is actually pretty good. The combat encounters, for the most part, are really fun. The guns feel great. The sound's perfect. Headshots when you blow off their heads and like smoke comes out of their head and they're going like, rah, it's great. It's so satisfying. But man, everything else around that game is just mediocre at best. The story is non-existent. We had a conversation last week, me and Nathan, about what the story of Destiny is, and we couldn't tell you what it was. We just couldn't tell you what actually happens. We have both finished the campaign at this point, and we were talking about it, and we could not tell you what happened. We couldn't tell you what we beat. We couldn't tell you what the force was throughout the entire game. Our motivations, nothing. We couldn't tell you any of it. Because apparently it is all in the grimoire cards that you unlock by doing certain achievements in the game, and those cards you can read in the app. Not in the game.
That's stupid.
In the app.
That's really stupid.
It is the stupidest thing they have ever done. It's just beyond stupid. But even then, in terms of a campaign narrative, I doubt it's gonna, it can't be any good, right? That's only background information. Right?
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing BioShock and you pick up an audio log. That's not what's happening right now, that's what happened before. But I couldn't tell you what was happening during the game. And it's just, yeah. And the missions themselves are, go to this spot, send your robot guy to scan and or collect data or hack or whatever, and defend him while he does it. When he's done, you win. Moving on. And then you do it again. You do that repeatedly. Those are the missions. I made that claim within the first couple hours that I played several months ago at this point. I don't even remember how long ago it was. And it holds true.
Okay, but you know that it's not that good. It's a solid game, but you know it's not that good. Why are you still playing?
I'm not anymore.
There must be something that kept you going back for 20 plus.
Well, I want to play the raid. I've said that from the very beginning. I want to get there. I am now geared up for the raid. I'm waiting for Nathan to get geared up for the raid, and we're going to do it. And we're going to chime back in once we play the raid, because apparently that's where the good is. The problem is that it sucks that it's that far into the game, you know? It sucks that you have to go through 16 to 20 hours of trash grinding. And if you beat the campaign and you're not high enough level, which is likely because the campaign ends at level 18, you have to be 24 to do the raid, or 23 or something. I don't know what the math adds up to, but you're going to have to just sit there and grind and do missions you've done before, or play multiplayer, which is super. I don't like the multiplayer at all because it's all one-hit kills. Each character has a different one-hit kill, and it's the most frustrating thing ever, just dying for no reason. If there was any skill involved with it, I'd be, okay, that guy got me. But no, this guy runs up to you, he hits a special move, he explodes, and he kills everyone around him. And he can do that every couple minutes. And everybody can do that. And it sucks. It's not fun. So, yeah, I don't know. When we get to the raid, we'll play the raid. But then that's it, unless we buy the expansion. And that's where I was getting at here. The expansion. That sucker's $20.
How much?
$20.
That must be a really, really good expansion. That's an old school expansion, like back in World of Warcraft days.
That's the thing, is that I hear that it's not that good. Or even
but the whole game is not that good.
Right! So you'd think they'd learn their lessons with the expansion. But they didn't. I don't know. But another reason is that it came free with my PlayStation 4, and I wanted to play something on my PlayStation 4.
How you find the new console?
I like it.
Good.
It's super sleek. I love the way it looks. It's a sexy little thing. The controller's great. I love the way it feels. Yeah, you have one, don't you?
Yeah, I still play my PS3 though.
Yeah, well, I mean, if only you had Destiny on it, then we could be.
I don't think I'll be getting Destiny. I even looked up upcoming games for the PS4, and I don't care for anything.
Yeah, so
like for the next
I got it mainly for Bloodborne. I know you're not into those, but that's what I got mine for, and that's coming out in a couple weeks. I had some GameStop credit, so I just during my break yesterday in class, I drove over to GameStop and said, "Take this credit and put it on Bloodborne, and I'll be back."
You're a big fan of Demon and Dark Souls?
Yeah, I didn't get the appeal at first. There's something about, but then I did. I figured it out. The challenge is refreshing, and there's not quite like anything else out there. It has its flaws, but I'm not tired of that genre yet. Though with the rate they are coming out, I might get there. This is the second one in as many years, so. Because Dark Souls 2 came out last year around this time.
Yeah, it did. About later than that,
so.
That's a hefty game.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm in the mood for one of those.
Yeah, that's Bloodborne is March, and then there's The Witcher in May and Batman in June.
Batman. We did not talk about this, and it's too bad Nathan's not here. But Batman gets an M rating, and I am so excited about that. I could not be more excited about that. What rating system do you have in Ireland? Is it PEGI?
Yeah.
So the 18s. PEGI 18. So excited. Batman violence. I'm in.
Yeah, I haven't played. I played like the first half of Batman Arkham Asylum, and then I didn't touch City because I went to open world. I didn't like that idea, and now it's even more open world with Arkham Knight, so I won't be touching it either. Yeah,
that's the thing, is that I'm just kind of sick of open world in general.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
I'm a little bit worried about The Witcher 3 because they said, hey, it's like Skyrim now. And no.
Well, previous two Witcher games are open world-y anyway.
But ish. Yeah. But not quite. They're still structured enough.
Yeah, it's just when it goes open world, chances are it's, fucking quests and mundane tasks and fetching stuff and just stupid little objectives that seem to be littering the place instead of meaningful. Yeah. Yeah, and then the story always takes a hit because the story can't be that good in most cases because they got to put so much time and effort into designing the world and making the world
side quests and side stuff. And a perfect example of open world that doesn't work, that was previously a not open world game, is Dragon Age. Those games, okay, I should say the first one is really well regarded. Then the new one came out. People seem to like it, but I hate it. I think it's super boring. A lot of the quests are just go collect these herbs and come back. As soon as you tell me to go collect something and come back to you, I'm already done. I'm bored.
You run out of variety of side quests. It can, GTA 5 did it well because, they got as much money and as much development time as they need. But it's hard to get it right. Even, my favorite open world game is Just Cause 2, but I didn't give a flying fuck about. After about 4 or 5 missions...
You barely cared about the story. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is all just the same stuff. Go here, kill people, or blow this up.
Why do I need a mission to do that? I could just...
I'll do that anyway. Yeah, it's a strange thing.
One example of side quests that work is South Park. I think
that worked, yeah, because you, going for Mr. Hanky, or stuff like that.
Yeah, and Al Gore and all that stuff. That's stuff that makes sense. That's side quests that it's entertaining. And it doesn't necessarily add to the main story, but it's fun little distractions. And it's not as simple as go and collect this stuff. It's go find Mr. Hanky's children and then watch the domestic abuse. Of course, it's a weird example of a side quest, but...
Or Jimbo's one, which is hunting down all the animals. Or Al Gore's one of putting up rods to detect man-bear pig.
Yeah, and fighting Al Gore was the hardest fight in that game.
And that led to you do all that for him, and then leads to you fight Al Gore.
Or when Al Gore's spamming your Facebook, and you unfriend him, that is one of the funniest moments in that game.
It's me,
He's just spamming.
I'm your friend now.
And the quest log ticks up, unfriend Al Gore. So good.
That's a perfect way of doing side quests right. Or they're not just a side quest, they're like a side story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that maybe side quest is the wrong word, because side quest implies
fetching.
Generic, fetch quests or kill quests or something like that. If you write a side story, and those exist, BioWare's done them. Dragon Age even has done them. And it's just, I don't want you to write me an elaborate way in which I need to collect herbs. I just don't want it. And South Park's not open world. It's open-ish. It's an open area.
No, I'd say South Park is open world.
I mean, you can more or less traverse the world in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
it's not large.
I suppose it's the smallest version of an open world.
Yeah.
That's probably
like an open level.
Yeah, a big open level. That's more way
open town.
Way of putting it.
Because there's the town of South Park. It's a small town. Yeah, I found it fascinating when they were saying, when they were making the game, and they had never mapped out South Park before. So when they were making the game, they were thinking, oh, well, where does Cartman actually live?
Yes,
they've never had to think about that before.
They just had like the wipe, and then you're there in the other part of town, and they actually had to physically place things around and tell Obsidian, this is where this goes, this is where this goes. I think the funny thing they had is like, where is the police department? That's
it. Yeah, and when you think about the game, the stuff is laid out in such a weird way. There's maybe 8 houses, but yet there are a ton of people in that town, and it's a weird. Yeah. It doesn't have to make sense. It's South Park.
A crazy thing. Who would have thought that Jimbo's is about just beside City Walk?
Right. I mean, why not?
Jimbo's just up there in the corner, and just you go one screen over. Oh, it's City Walk.
And then the church is right next to City Hall or whatever. It's just,
yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. The school is right next to that, so why not just...
Yeah, I liked it though, because within, after going back and forth to the town, you get to know it so darn well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I miss that with certain open world games that are too big. You just get yourself turned around. You don't actually know the place or get to know it that well. I think the best, like Vice City, I think was
I was just about to bring up Vice City.
That was like the tipping point. That's just big enough where you can get to know it in and out or in and around the whole place. But any bigger than that, and you're kind of getting a bit like GTA 5 is too big. Yeah, I think it's too big.
I thought GTA 4 was too big.
Yeah, I thought San Andreas was
probably too big.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was too big.
I thought San Andreas was fine when you were still on the Grove or whatever, and you go into your little cul-de-sac, and you can recognize the roads to take to get home, and that's cool. But as soon as they open up the next area, you're like, I haven't seen this at all. I don't know where I'm going, and you're just going to follow the map now. And that just leads to every game having a stupid notification of where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like a mini map with the little icon saying "Go here."
At the same time, in a big open world, I kind of want it. So I don't want a big open world, and I don't want the objective
which is why South Park works like, oh, go to Cartman's house. I know where that is.
Yeah, I know where Cartman lives. If he doesn't, I can check the map, but it's not on the game world. I can just...
With Vice City, it was kind of like, oh, go here. Oh, I know that spot. Yeah, I don't need the map. Whereas when it becomes a certain size, I just, like, it becomes overwhelming, and I don't feel connected to the world as much. It just becomes a place that I'm visiting, not I'm inhabiting.
I think it helps that, in Vice, I personally played Vice City a crap load. I played that game a ton. Mm-hmm. I would just drive around. I just enjoyed being a part of that world. I don't know what it was about Vice City specifically, because I didn't lose myself since or prior than Vice City. It's just something about it. The music, the aesthetic, just everything. I just wanted to drive around. I'm sure a lot of people have done this, but I tried to be a decent driver. I stopped at the traffic lights and stuff. I mean, it was short-lived, but every once in a while you get the thing, I want to be a part of this world. I'm going to be a good Samaritan.
Yeah, I did that as well. I did that with Vice City. I did that with the original Driver on the PS1.
Yeah.
That game blew my mind, because you drive around San Francisco, and if you were nice, you wouldn't get hassled. And if you broke lights, people were like, brr, brr, and honk at you.
And then they realize that it kind of, once the novelty wears off, that kind of sucks from a gameplay perspective, that if you're waiting at every stoplight, that's kind of boring. So
yeah, it worked though.
I never played any of the drivers later than that, but
no, I didn't either. Driver 1 was the one that got me, and I was like, yeah, this is brilliant.
And then Drive 3 or DRIV3R, where you can get out of the car.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Making Driver 2 was probably a bad idea if we're getting right down to it. Driver was a fun little novelty for the time, and just... You remember Stuntman?
Yeah, that was Vin Diesel, wasn't it?
No, that's Wheelman. Stuntman was a...
Yes, you were an actual... I remember
Yeah, you were a stunt driver.
Interesting. It
was
was sometimes hard to pull off, but when it did come together, it was class.
Yeah.
It was like just trying to get a cutscene, a QTE cutscene right.
Yeah. The weird thing about it was you played out 2 to 3 minute action scenes in one take. That would never happen in a movie. You just 2 to 3 minutes in one shot. No. First we would drive through the barrels, cut, set everything back up, and then the explosion would happen behind. And in Stuntman, you're going to do this all at once. If you get it wrong, we're doing it all over again. We're going to go clean up the set. It's going to take a week, but we're going to do it again.
Yeah. I liked it though. It had
it was fun, a little novelty.
It was certainly one of a kind.
The PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 had a lot of weird games.
Well, that's because there was just a lot of... It was so profitable.
Yeah.
And so the game development wasn't that expensive.
You don't see weird experiments like that anymore. Not even in the indie space, kind of. I mean, you do.
I'd say you definitely see weird experiments in the indie space.
But not on the scale of the way it used to be. Stuntman and... what was it? Driver. Those were relatively big budget. And they don't risk... Big budget games aren't risky anymore. They're playing it safe. They can't, you're right, but it sucks.
They're kind of boring for it.
I'm thinking of, those two games we mentioned, and then I'm thinking of The Getaway. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was...
It was another big budget experimental game. It was like a mob game where your kid gets kidnapped.
Well, I wouldn't say it's that experimental, because a mob game is something that people get on board with.
Right, but it also was GTA without the open world. I mean, it was kind of open world, but the second you got off track, you failed the mission. So you couldn't actually explore the world. It was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was taking that much of a risk. It was working on something that people were familiar with and trying to put their own spin on it.
Wasn't it Team Bondi?
I thought it was Sony. People? Oh, no, Sony London, wasn't it?
Yeah, but weren't they? Didn't they go on to make Team or
I don't know,
LA Noire or whatever?
LA Noire was just the story behind that game is almost as interesting as the game itself.
I was saying that about Destiny too. I would read a book about the Destiny's development. I would read a book about LA Noire's development. LA Noire was even more so because that was in development for so long,
and the game was useless up until they got that facial animation.
Yeah,
correct.
Once they got the facial thing, because the game, take that out. What is that game?
The game is so mundane.
The game is trash. But you put that in, hey, there's something here.
Yeah. I
can't wait until other games use this. No one has used it.
Yeah, it's just too expensive.
It is.
And it's as in that's the best facial animations going, and we'll probably see something like Uncharted break that style of facial animation when it comes out.
Well, right, but what do you need that kind of picture photorealistic?
Very few games focus on the face.
Poker and LA Noire, those are your options in which you would need to see the little minute details of the face. Everything else, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have Troy Baker's handsome mug.
Sure thing.
All over the place.
Here's the fascinating thing with Team Bondi. You go on their Wikipedia page, there's 4 lines about their history. And then there's about 9,000 words about controversy and closure and future.
What is their future? Does it say?
Future liquidated.
It's just a question mark.
Some of the staff are now developing Whore of the Orient.
I don't know. That's
still seeking a backer, and nothing. That was 2013.
Well,
and Whore of the Orient does not have a backer or a publisher or
wasn't LA Noire pretty successful though?
Wasn't it successful enough? Is my understanding. It was well received and so
yeah, but
well
maybe it was because of the freaking ridiculous budget for that game. They got reasonable named actors for that too. There was some dudes from Mad Men in there.
Yeah, and it hit at the time where Mad Men was a big deal.
Yeah.
Whoa, LA Noire sold really well, like 6 million well.
I don't know. Tomb Raider sold relatively close to that, and that was still underperformed.
6. Yeah, well, Tomb Raider, with their marketing was out of control.
Yeah.
But
now it's an Xbox One exclusive. Yay!
Eleanor sold 6 million. And then they closed down the bloody studio. Well, that's enough with you.
Rockstar took all the money and said, well, screw you.
Remember there's stories of the developers working crunch for no money? Like, they work in like 80-hour weeks. Where is it? Here it was. Here's a quote from one of the people who worked in it. Apart from a few isolated cases, this was the highest my regular hours got to. And at no time... Oh no, they work 65 hours a week. Woo! I can't say no one ever worked 100 hours per week, but those sort of hours were not encouraged.
I mean, no, because it's illegal.
There are stories of like them just living in the office for weeks on end and their family visiting them, giving them soup or stuff. And then they're just not getting paid.
Picturing a refugee camp or something.
Yeah, and then the game comes out and they're like, oh, that's that. You're all fired.
That's got to be the most defeating thing in the world. To just get a project done and not being able to celebrate or watch as it takes on the world, just you're fired. Now try to figure out your future. That sucks.
Okay, so what happened was all of Team Bondi's intellectual properties were just bought by Kennedy.
What did they have?
I don't know, they had L.A. Noire and they probably had some other stuff.
I'm assuming they had The Getaway. I feel like that's right.
And then Kennedy Miller Mitchell they were sold to. It's just an Australian film, TV and games production house.
I don't know what that is. I don't know. I've never heard of those words you put together.
I think basically Rockstar just wanted to offload Team Bondi.
I think Rockstar liked the money that L.A. Noire made, but they did not like the amount of money it took to make that money. I mean, why do that when you could put all your money in GTA, which sells $1 billion worth of copies? So,
yeah, this is so strange.
Not worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to do a video on Team Bondi. This thing is fascinating. Just a video titled, What Happened with Team Bondi?
You call them up, see what's going on.
Ah, damn, I actually I could officially call myself a games journalist.
Yeah,
if I start calling them up.
Just say you're from whatever.
Can I get your side of the things? How did things go down? Break it down for me. Come on. Let me in. It's been years. The dust has settled. You can now tell it like it was. Yeah. Damn, that'd be really interesting.
I'd love to talk to him.
Okay.
Like, hey, what's going on?
There's this fella, Brendan McNamara. Perfect. He's a Mac. He's a Mac.
He is apparently a humongous douche.
Is he? Perfect.
That's what I heard. I believe it's him. There was someone, I think the head of Team Bondi was a colossal prick.
Well, when you're under that insane amount of pressure.
No, I don't necessarily blame him, but I also don't know. Maybe he just is a prick. Yeah. It's possible. So who knows? Anyway.
I want to talk to this guy.
All right, call him up.
Oh wait, hang on. There's an article here about 2011's. Oh, here's a quote. All
right.
I'd rather people just ring me up than tell me to fuck off.
There you go. He's inviting you.
Who was it? This guy seems to be like an epic man. He apparently was like the world's biggest villain in 2011.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
I want to talk to this guy. Go on. What happened, buddy? What happened? Lay it out for me. What happened?
I'm just going to let you go. I'm going
to let you go, and I'm going to just take quotes and audio clips and put them into video.
Everything you say is on the record.
Yeah.
Even if we say it's off the record, trust me, it's on the record.
Yeah, that'd be an unreal kind of story to do.
Just a tell-all.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, there are. I would love to hear a bunch of tell-alls. I'd love to hear the Duke Nukem Forever story.
Yeah.
Just anything about it. The 12-year legacy of Duke Nukem Forever. But yeah, I'd like to hear the development of Destiny, because there's no way they intentionally designed it the way it is. There are plenty. If I could think about them, I could come up with some more.
There's Duke Nukem, and then there's a bunch of games that went through just a turbulent development. And
Half-Life 3.
Well, no one's going to talk about that.
Well, especially since it's not being developed. Last Guardian, I'd like to hear about.
Yeah, that would be. But the game has to come out and has to be like the dust has to settle.
Or they just cancel it, for God's sake. Stop it with this. No, it's still in development, guys. No, it's not. You're lying.
But the thing that bugs me, like Half-Life 2 Episode 2 was a cliffhanger. It was a cliffhanger!
It totally was.
It was the biggest cliffhanger, and they...
it was literally hanging off a cliff.
It infuriates me to this day. I can't play Half-Life 2 Episode 2. I can't play Episode 1.
You can't play Episode 1? Because the Episode 1 is a cliffhanger?
No, because it leads into Episode 2, and then... Although Episode 2's gameplay is the best in the series.
I agree. I don't remember how Episode 1 ends.
It was kind of like you're escaping on a train. It was like, alright, next for our adventure.
Yeah, okay.
But Episode 2 gameplay was so good.
It was. Was that the one where you're in the bug tunnel and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Bug tunnel and the hunters.
I beat that on the Xbox 360 because they didn't have a computer good enough to play it at the time.
Yeah. It's just... goddamn. Here's the thing. If they could just do Episode 3, a 1 hour game. Just 1 hour. Just
give me a paragraph and tell me what happens.
Yeah, just give me a paragraph. Just 3 sentences. That's it. 3 sentences. Don't even make the bloody game. 3 sentences, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to the point where if they eventually... They have to, right? They have to announce. It has to happen.
Fucking VR. Stop. Don't do that.
Yeah, but what's it... I'm not coming up with this idea. I heard it from a different podcast, so forgive me. Don't be like, you stole this idea. But someone brought up the idea that they have new hardware. What would be a good game to get people to buy that hardware?
Well, we made
what if Half-Life 3?
We made that argument ages ago.
Did we?
Yeah, Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, and Portal 3, exclusive to Steam box. Boom.
Yeah, I think we did say that.
Yeah.
But I was talking about... But this one's about VR, though.
Oh, I'm not buying Half-Life with VR.
Neither am I.
Nobody's going to do that. Series isn't
but if it has VR support, it might sway some more people.
But if it's just VR support, no one's going to get it. It's like the bloody PlayStation Move. Nobody cares. Heavy Rain, you could play that with PlayStation Move.
You could barely play that with a controller. It's not...
I think that was the peak for Mr. David Cage. And
you accelerate with the right trigger.
Yeah, and then...
You accelerate your character. You're a person! You accelerate with a pedal. What?
Yeah, I think that was the creative height for Mr. David Cage, and everyone
David Cage
went,
has kind of always sucked.
Yeah, but that was like people that give him the most, like, oh, you know what, this is alright. This is good, and the story is interesting. And then since then it's been, oh, you were just full of shit, weren't you? That was a fluke. You're like M. Night Shyamalan. People have now realized you're crap.
Indigo Prophecy has one of the coolest openings, I dare say, in anything ever.
Which one?
Indigo Fahrenheit.
Yeah, in the bathroom. And the cop coming in. Yeah, that's very cool.
That is the coolest, freaking, most tense, ball-busting, just let's do this opening ever. That game goes way off the rails really quickly, but you can't take it away for what it does right, and it does that opening right, and it does a lot of other things right. But Heavy Rain kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
I liked it.
The game literally opens with you getting out of bed and brushing your teeth.
Oh yeah, the opening is horrendous. It's like the worst tutorial level ever. Brushing your teeth.
So bad.
Although it's terrible and it's not.
No,
it's terrible because by comparison to everything else, it sucks. But it's the perfect way of putting you in this world. Like, yes, you'll be doing these strange...
But I don't care. I can assume that this guy brushes his teeth. I don't have to experience it. I brush my teeth every day. No one wants to know.
Yeah, I didn't mind the stuff like... the fucking... Jason! I feel like this is the second week in a row that I'm pretty sure we made this joke last week. The Jason. It's, yeah, there's like, it did do a very good job when the kid goes missing at the beginning of the game. That was kind of cool.
It was tense.
Yeah, and then...
The one thing, okay, spoilers for Heavy Rain.
Rain.
You know what, I won't name the character specifically, but the killer in the game is not in that opening scene. Except when they do the flashback at the end and he totally is. They insert him.
Yeah, that's quite shitty.
That's messed up.
It's like, oh, you just lied to me.
If they put him there in the beginning, I wouldn't have noticed.
Either you just made the story and then at the end you went, oh wait, our ending makes no sense. Oh, let's just retroactively
just leave that part out. You don't have to, he doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
You know? For it to make sense. He doesn't have to be in that shot.
Yeah.
Just don't put it there. Stupid.
I didn't like...
Stupid.
I didn't like Heavy Rain's opening in the house. When they got to the park, the father and son, that was alright.
Yeah, I mean, there are some decent moments about that game, but for what it's trying to do, it's trying to be the super serious storytelling. The thing, it doesn't say new game, it says new movie when you hit play.
No way.
With that, yes, it does. Fahrenheit does too.
That's kind of shitty.
And
that's
when
insulting.
you do, so with that in mind, the acting is balls.
Yeah.
It's really bad. The storytelling isn't that great. There are way too... This stuff can be forgiven if you go, oh, it's a video game. But he's going for more than that, and he's got this pretentious attitude that he's above the medium, but he's clearly not. Because he sucks at it.
Yeah, that's kind of pompous.
Oh, boy, is it.
Yeah,
like, come on,
if you're going to
off.
merit it as, okay, this is a movie, then you'd expect top-notch voice acting, top-notch script, excellent writing. But no,
that's why he learned his lesson with...
it's just an experiment, almost.
That's why he learned his lesson with his next game that I forget
Beyond
the name.
Two Souls?
Yes,
when he somehow conned fucking...
Willem Dafoe and Ellen Page.
Yeah.
Real actors.
Yeah, and then couldn't get a decent performance out of it.
It was okay.
Yeah,
from what I saw.
They're pros, you know, they'll give a good performance regardless of how terrible the script is.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that I think their performances were good, but the script was freaking trash. I don't think he's talented.
No, I think it's the M. Night Shyamalan, where everyone thought he was really interesting.
But the thing is, though, is M. Night Shyamalan has the Sixth Sense, and no one can take that from him. What does David Cage have?
Well, some would say Fahrenheit and Heavy Rain.
No, it's neither of those are at the caliber of the Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is a good movie.
Yeah. I will say one thing to their credit, the studio, Quantic Dream.
Yep.
Tech demos.
Oh, yeah.
That one they did with the girl who's like, she's in a kitchen and she's trying to give a speech to her spouse who's cheating on her. And she's like, the holds a gun and she's going crazy.
I don't think I've seen this.
You don't think you've seen it?
No. I saw one they did last E3 with this wizard guy.
Yeah.
It looked photorealistic. I was questioning whether it was real or not. I still kind of question whether it was real or not. But then again, I look at the order and that looks really good, so maybe it's possible.
I'll show you. It's called Heavy Rain, The Audition.
Oh, no, wait. Okay, I've seen it. Never mind.
Yeah, the casting.
Yes.
That thing, I remember seeing that and going, Jesus Christ, this is brilliant. It's, for that, the writing is fantastic.
But that's another thing, is that you look at the Heavy Rain tech demos and you're like, that's not real, there's no way.
Kara thing, almost the sentient AI, the machine that starts to feel.
I don't remember that.
I'll show you quick. You like recognize it immediately. The wizard, this tech demo with the,
Alright, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but I'm
no,
gonna
just skip in and see the look on the girl's face and you'll recognize it. You've surely seen
Let's
this.
see. Probably.
No?
Oh yeah, I have, okay.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When they're like, oh, something wrong, we'll have to like.
So they should just make tech demos, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Stop with the writing and
then she like screams, no, I'm scared. You're like, what the fuck? You're scared, you're a machine. And then like that, the Heavy Rain casting, the wizard tech demo, those were all brilliant. Those are so good. So here's an idea. Don't make a full game, just make amazing cutscenes.
Yeah, be the tech demo guys. Every time there's a new system, be like, alright, Quantic Dream, get your rear in gear, do your stuff. Or then come back in 5 or 6 years where we'll need you again.
Here's an even better idea. Don't make a game, make a full-fledged animated movie. With game engines. With the game engine.
And with other people writing.
Kara and the Heavy Rain casting was pretty class. The wizard was class.
I'm not convinced they wrote it.
He just took credit. It's my studio, damn it.
Just probably got freelance writers in their contract says David Cage can steal your credit.
Yeah. Like, if they were to do just short stories, like tech demo short stories with the game engines, or just a full-fledged 90 minutes, they could be on something special.
How has no one made a Twilight Zone-esque video game in that it's episodic, but each episode is a whole new story? How has no one done that?
That's a good point.
Just little short stories.
I think it's just too hard. Because you have to design whole new gameplay mechanics for each story.
Well, it doesn't, not necessarily. If it's like, Telltale could do it.
But that, I suppose, you could really let your imagination run wild.
Especially if you have different teams working on each different story, simultaneously.
Telltale would probably be the only people that you'd trust at this moment in time to do it. But I'm sure there's a bunch of independent developers that would be really talented at taking a crack at it.
Yeah, I just don't know how it hasn't happened yet. It seems a super logical step. I feel like Alan Wake was kind of like that. Not the first one, but I forget, American Wasteland. No, that's Tony Hawk. I don't remember what the spin-off thing was, but they had somewhat of stuff like that, but Alan Wake was in every single one of them. And it was just levels, basically. So it's not quite the same. I want Rod Serling to just stand there and be like, picture if you will, and then do his whole monologue, and then let me play the story. Get someone make a Twilight Zone game. There you go.
It could be done.
It could be done. There's this Rod Serling sound-alike out there. I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Rod Serling was born in the same town I was born
in. Did you hear some news about Uncharted?
Not recently.
It's delayed.
Wah, wah.
Spring.
Hey, guy, there's that one thing we're looking forward to on the PS4. I can't wait. Hey, wait.
Yeah, more or less like the only thing I was thinking. I'll probably get that within a week.
But I don't know. I don't even want Uncharted. I want something else. I want Naughty Dog to do The Last of Us again, but not. I don't mean I want The Last of Us 2. I want the feeling I got from The Last of Us from them again.
Yeah, they can't do The Last of Us 2. They can do The Last of Us : Tommy's story or something like that.
Well, it could be called The Last of Us 2 as long as it's not the same characters.
Yeah, I don't think they can do Joel and Ellie. But there's so much in that world. I mean, there's so many stories you could tell.
Here's the thing. It could totally be Joel and Ellie if they wanted to. Here's also the thing. They're probably going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you.
They're going to like their part, because the ending, they can just go on from the ending over the next year. Just more Joel and Ellie.
They'll have to write a new conflict, but it'll happen. Believe you me, it'll happen.
It's either they do that or they go with, alright, same period of time, but they can't just have two more people looking for a cure. They could have just two people trying to survive and not even look for a cure. Kind of like, more like On the Roads, the book.
But there's got to be more than just survival.
Yeah.
There's got to be a conflict. There has to be a goal. Otherwise, you're just playing Minecraft. And I don't want to do that, so...
You could play it from the role of the Fireflies.
Alright.
That's possible.
But, yeah. There's so much stuff you could do. But they're just going to go with Joel and Ellie. There's no way they're not.
Yeah,
those characters are too beloved. I can't see... Not that I'm saying Naughty Dog would want... Well, I don't know, because Naughty Dog seems to want to do Uncharted, and that's the last thing I wanted them to do. I'd rather them make Jak and Daxter again than freaking
They
Uncharted
did say that they're not going back to those Jak and...
Well, somebody
Crash.
needs to do it.
Yeah, Jak and Daxter. There was a new Jak and Daxter, but it was Jak and Daxter: The Last Frontier. Came out in 2009 for the PSP, and it was terrible.
Oh, well, I mean...
It wasn't done by Naughty Dog, though. It was done by
Daxter on
was
PSP
surprisingly
really good.
good.
Yeah. It was the one of the maybe 4 PSP games I played.
That thing sold 3 million copies.
Yeah.
It was a huge
the PSP
success.
or the...
PSP, yeah, Daxter.
Daxter did? No
Yeah.
way. I mean, to be fair, what else is there to play on the PSP?
Yeah.
You can watch your movies, your little UMD movies. What a freaking terrible idea.
I remember, like, oh, you can watch Blade.
You can watch Daddy Daycare.
For some reason, they thought it was the future. Here's these just strange.
I mean, they weren't too wrong. Watching movies on the go was kind of the future,
but
not in the way they did it.
Oh, it's going to be streaming online. That's the thing. Yeah.
And not too long after the PSP came out, too, did that start happening. So, yeah, what was the iPhone came out in 2007? Is that when that happened?
I don't know. I've got a flip phone.
Yeah.
My phone doesn't even have the internet.
I don't know. The only reason I have my phone the way it is because, first of all, it was free, so I'll take it.
How'd you get it for free?
I signed up for a plan for 2 years, and they're like, "We love you, so here's a phone." I'm like, "Cool, I'm canceling my plan."
Fair enough.
And then I canceled my plan, and now I've got to pay as you go for $40. So that's good. But what were we talking about? Oh, right.
Uncharted was delayed.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Pity. I guess I'll just stick to my PS3. I still got PS3 games to play. I mean,
so do I, technically.
I want to play LA Noire now. I want to go back. I just love the look of that game. It captures that time period so well.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Also, the story gets really stupid.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it is about really good stories that have potential to go somewhere that just fail.
I think it's just development.
That's got to be development. Yeah, but that's something that they need to resolve, or else the medium is not going to be taken seriously.
I remember
movies don't have this problem.
Yeah, I remember it was Ken Levine who was saying that there's a reason why so many gaming stories just do that. They peter out because they've got such great ideas at the beginning, but as development time goes on, they realize, oh, we got to put more resources towards these gameplay mechanics, or more resources towards this. Where because he was the head of his own studio and he valued story above all else, because he was a writer, he was able to say, no, we're putting the time in and we're going to do the story, and then we'll figure everything out afterwards.
And the story turned out pretty good, so...
Yeah. Whereas, you could say that the gameplay for Bioshock 1 was good. Obviously there were better games out, but...
I hated it even at the time. So,
and
I liked Bioshock, but the gameplay was rough, even at the time, I thought, so...
Yeah, but they the story is the most important, and they put more resources towards the story. So I think it's a perfect point. If you're in a studio we got this great setup, there's this amazing world, these great characters, and they do this. Oh, that sounds brilliant. And then 6 months out from day of release, oh shit! For some reason, all the textures look like crap when they're up-res to 1080p, and they go, oh no, and we're having frame rate issues. Oh no.
There's a Miyamoto quote out there that said, a delayed game is good eventually. A rushed game is bad forever.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So it really is, because even though no one talks about how long it took Bioshock Infinite to come out, and it did take believe you me, it took a long time. It was supposed to come out early 2012, and it totally came out way later than that.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about that anymore. Why? Because it came out and it was pretty good.
Yep. And also Bioshock 2 came out in between.
Yeah, but who cares?
I know, but it kind of got there's still Bioshock around.
Yeah, but even...
Oh, here's a better example. GTA 4 and GTA 5.
Yeah, there you go.
That was 5 years.
That was super long time.
Yeah. But yeah, GTA 5 comes out, and then a year later...
Yeah, no one talks about how long it took GTA 5 to come out.
A year later, people are like, that's a damn good game. Oh, here's the remastered version. Buying it. Oh, it's on PC. Buying it.
Nathan's trying to get me to buy the PS4 version to play with him.
Oh, poor fella.
But the PC version keeps getting delayed, so I might just do it eventually.
At
this point, I'm going to be dead by the time the PC version comes out.
Yeah, with Miyamoto's quote, but Miyamoto can do that because he has a certain level of stature, where an awful lot of people...
He is the god of game development, basically.
Yeah, where an awful lot of people just don't have that luxury. No, the game has come out now, we spent all this money on marketing for this release date, it's coming out then. Otherwise, we just blew $20 million.
Yeah, but how often... it does happen. Don't get me wrong, but how often is a tremendously good game underperform? You know what I mean? Like just something that just knocks it out of the park. How often does that go and just not sell? The only one that comes to mind right now is Psychonauts.
But Psychonauts came out in a time when the only way you could find out about it was through magazines.
And that's a weird game to sell people on.
Yeah, well,
try to explain that to somebody.
If that game came out nowadays with the internet, and you got people doing Let's Plays of it.
If that was an indie darling or something?
Yeah, that would sell so much.
Absolutely.
If you look at Five Nights at Freddy's, that game would never have gotten
What the heck is going on with Five Nights at Freddy's, man?
That game would never have gotten the light of day a decade ago. No one would have.
There's 3 of them, and I feel like on episode 1 or 2 of this podcast, this very podcast that is less than a year old, we talked about Five Nights at Freddy's 1.
Yeah. Well, essentially all it does is add new levels. And a couple of new characters. It's an incredible turnaround that he's done.
Yeah, I don't, it's just the part where he puts the 3 after it that bothers me.
Yeah.
And charges more money.
Yeah. Although he does put a new tidbit of story in there as well. And kind of
come on!
No, but have you seen some of the story behind Five Nights at Freddy's?
No.
It's so dark. It's like
I thought it was
children
there was a sense of humor.
Nope. It's like children being murdered.
I mean, I know the story behind the first one.
Yeah, I don't know who it was. I think the Game Theorist did a full breakdown of the story for the first 2 games. And a couple other people did breakdowns. It's so dark. And like you have to piece it together. It's so dark. There's like molestation involved at some point.
Alright.
Implied.
You
heavily implied. bit of child molestation to get the troops standing. Then there's also what was it? The man who made it, before that he made Christian games.
Alright. I didn't know those existed.
He made a Christian game with animatronics, and people said like the animatronics looked a bit creepy, and they didn't really get the vibe of it. But then he made another Christian game, and then he kind of thought, those animatronics from that other game were creepy looking. Let's see if I can make a game out of that.
Animatronics are just kind of creepy.
Yeah, he was really offended that people found the animatronics in his lovely Christian game creepy. He was like, I spent weeks and months on making these things, and you're just saying they're creepy? It ruins the entire game, and he was devastated. And
there's a Saturday Night Live sketch where they play as animatronics, and just the way they move is super creepy. There's something about them. There's something uncanny about them that just...
It's the uncanny valley. Real, but
exactly.
Not
real. We have to start wrapping this up, but before we do, I forgot I've been playing... I literally just today sat down and played through 2/3 of Ori and the Blind Forest.
What?
Which is Ori and the Blind Forest just came out today. Or yesterday, last night.
Ori and
It is one of the best looking games I have ever seen. It is freaking beautiful.
It's a 2D...
the way it moves, it is a Metroidvania, if you will.
This looks very pretty.
It is so pretty. But based on that prettiness, the first time when I saw the trailer of it on E3, at E3 rather, I saw it and it was, it was nice looking. It's hard to tell, when you're watching it at the press conference or whatever. And I saw that it was pretty and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to hate that. It's pretty. The reason I say that is because most pretty games, pretty side-scrolling games like that usually are not games. I hate Flower. I hate it with passion. I mean, it's not a side-scrolling game, but that game is nothing but pretty.
After 5 minutes, that game is boring as fuck.
The game's not a game. It's stupid. So I just assumed that this was going to be a pretty-looking, walking from left to right thing. It's not that at all. It is a game. It is a hard game. It is challenging.
Is it a platformer or what?
Yes, it is a Metroidvania-style platformer. Did you ever play Guacamelee?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a lot of Guacamelee.
The visuals look like a cross between Studio Ghibli and Child of Light.
Yes, it is freaking unreal. You have to see it in motion to just understand what I'm talking about. It is not... I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, I don't know how I'm actually interacting with this. It looks... And the only quirks that I see is that occasionally... your character will walk into a cutscene, and the transition between your character walking into a cutscene from your controlling it looks a little jerky. But other than that, it is just it's stunning. I don't get it. And it's also really good. It's a fun game. It's designed really well. It's not perfect. There are things that I'm not crazy about. I could get into it, but I don't have time.
Oh, I can see here on Steam. Steam is like kind of creepy thing. Randy played 3.9 hours of Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah!
That's nice.
I bought it last night because I wanted to check it out. It's $20. It's not a lot. I downloaded it and woke up super early because insomnia, yay. And I just turned it on and I just played for 4 straight hours. And I'm like, this is kind of awesome.
That's so cool.
I really like this. So I want to keep playing that. The bummer is that according to that percentage, I'm 2/3 of the way done. And I'm only 4 hours in. So
I think maybe that's the future of like really interesting, unique games is the $20 price tag.
Yeah. The art alone almost makes it worth $20.
Yeah.
As bad as it is. It looks, I almost recommend it on the art alone. If the game wasn't, I won't go that far, but if the game wasn't as good as it was, even if it was subpar and it looked the way it does, I might say you might want to check it out when it's on sale. As it is now, I think it's a no-brainer. It is really, really good. There are, like I said, there are faults. Every game has faults. I could get into it. Again, I don't have time, but I really, really enjoy it, and I'm not looking forward to it ending. At the same time, it probably needs to end before it gets sucky, because games do that. They go on too long. And I would much rather want more of a game than want it to end. So
maybe it'll be good to kind of like short and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, 6 hours for $20.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So
Call of Duty is less than that.
I mean, if you do the math anyway, because I'm 4 hours in, 2/3 of the way done.
Yeah.
That would imply that I have 2 more hours to go.
Well, you probably got maybe 3 because difficulty and whatnot.
Well, yeah, and I also did some of the side stuff, so it might be even a little bit shorter than that. So who knows? It's probably around 6 hours. Let's just say, give or take. Fun, really good. If you like those kind of games, if you like platformers, if you like Metroidvania style, I hate the term Metroidvania, but whatever. Really, really good. You can level up, you collect stuff. It is very, very hard. I almost want to say Super Meat Boy levels of challenge, but not quite. It's wall jumps, super precise platforming sections if you're into that stuff. But it's also forgiving. You can make your own checkpoints. So right before if you see a challenging jump ahead, you just set a checkpoint down and you go for it.
Ah, that's good.
And then they have little platforms in between challenging sections. So you can stand on that platform, set a checkpoint down, and continue on. So it's not, you die, but you don't ever go back that far. Unless you forget to put a checkpoint down, which has happened to me. I wanted to die when that happened. Because outside of the checkpoints you put down, there are very few actual real checkpoints. So I lost some progress. Really good though. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't even know it was coming out until I saw it the other day. And by the other day, I mean, I think yesterday I saw a video on it. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty. And just bought it on a whim. Really, really good.
Excellent.
I think you would like it, Adam, actually.
I'm looking at it and I will definitely like it. just the look alone.
It's on PC and it's on Xbox One. I don't think it is on PS4.
Cool. Excellent. All right, we wrap up there because now you gotta go.
Yep, gotta go. I'm literally darting out the door as soon as we end this. So sorry for the short podcast. I swear to God, once we get more than 2 people on the podcast, we will have Steam reviews.
Oh, we could have, yeah. Just,
I don't know.
We could have went longer. Just I got mixed up time zones.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
Daylight savings time. Stupid.
Yeah, next week will be better. So till then, thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
And we will be back next week. I love you, Randy, so much. Bye, Ori and the Blind Forest. It's really good.